But we do have it. We have to at least acknowledge no one gets turned away in our country for emergencies. 20% of those who don't have health insurance are not in this country legally. So we're going to transform our healthcare system for people who broke the law to come to our country in the first place. Big mistake. But when I talk to people, most people acknowledge they don't want Obamacare. They don't think access is as big a problem as Obama and the Democrats make out, but they are concerned with expense. I mean, I'm doing okay, but I still am concerned with the expense of my health care. I have a $5,000 deductible, and mine's gone up 17% a year the last 3 years. And with a $5,000 deductible, I don't use it. We file it, but I don't ever use it. I pay every time I go. But it's still going up at 17% a year, so the system is broken. But you have to ask yourself, why is healthcare broken? Too much government or too little government? The Democrats want to say, oh, it's free enterprise broken, or it's the marketplace broken. We don't have a marketplace in healthcare. We have private ownership, and I can make a profit as a physician, but there's no mobility of prices. In capitalism, you have competition, and you have open and freely fluctuating prices. You don't have it in healthcare. 55% of what I do is already paid for by the government, and the prices are fixed by government. About 40% of what I do is private insurance, but if you've got Blue Cross or Humana or United, I've already signed an agreement, your price is fixed when you come in. Now you have a little incentive not to use it if you have a higher deductible, but there is no price, so there is no marketplace for medicine. Now I've told people there is a little bit in the fact that if you pay cash for things, there's a marketplace, and it works. There are two things that I do that you pay cash for: contact lenses and LASIK surgery. And the price has gone down every year for 10 years in both of those. My price is within pennies of Walmart, not because I want to, because I have to. It's competition and it works. You can get a cell phone in Walmart for $14. It's a very sophisticated piece of equipment, but competition brings down the price even of the most sophisticated technology. Look at electronics. So it's a false argument when they say, oh, medicine's too complicated, the price would never come down. It's because we're prepaying for it with insurance. The other thing that scares people about healthcare, though, is they're afraid if they get sick, they'll either lose their insurance or their rates will double or triple. If I have a heart attack up here from all the stress of this speech and these questions, my insurance expires in December, they'll double or triple my rates. I don't like that. So I'm with the rest of the people. I don't like it, but I don't just want more government to fix it. There are answers. I have term life insurance also, and I have a 20-year contract. If I have a heart attack tonight, but I survive, my term life insurance stays the same because I got a long-term contract early on. The problem with this is it's hard to put this out in a 30-second soundbite and get everybody to understand this, but we need health insurance to be more like term life insurance. The only way you get there, though, is with higher deductibles, and you have to pay when you go. But the trade-off, what you will get in return for this is we open prices up, and prices will go up and down. What we need as Republicans, or what we need in candidates who believe in the Constitution, is people who can articulate our message. I think Republicans have given up on it. They're going to try to stop Obamacare, but I don't hear one person on national TV who's really promoting an alternative of the marketplace or capitalism for health care. Things have turned around or come a long way for me in about 3 months that I've been doing this. When I started this, I was completely unknown in Kentucky, probably 1 or 2% name recognition at most. We started and we're running against someone who's been campaigning nonstop since he left college. And I think it's some my message, some of being able to present it, but some this discontent and uneasiness I've told you about. People are out there and they want something different. They want somebody to present the message for us, but they also want someone who doesn't compromise the message in order to get elected. I always tell people there are two ways you can get elected in Kentucky. One way is you run as a conservative, free market guy or woman in the primary, then you win and you become a moderate or a Democrat in the fall, and you say, I can get you more federal projects for Kentucky. I can do it because I can get them more efficiently. I can get more for you, more of the bacon. I tell people it's not that the emperor has no clothes, it's that the emperor has no money. There's nothing I can bring you. I can try to bring you back your freedom. I can try to give you back some of your earnings. But if I were to stand here and say, I'm going to build you a big, shiny new building across the street that will cost $10 million, it would be a lie. I would have to borrow it from someone. We owe the Chinese $700 billion. We owe the Japanese $700 billion. We're borrowed to the hilt. We're the greatest debtor nation known to man. And we are teetering. We are teetering at a point in our history where there could be calamitous results. Last year, we passed the bank bailout bill. Once again, half the Republicans voted for it. This is your chance in a primary to say, enough's enough. I want new leadership in the Republican Party. Yeah. One of the dangers we have is in order to pay for this, they've done a couple of scary things. The monetary base has doubled. This, when it flows into the system through the banks, can be multiplied another tenfold through fractional banking. That is an explosion of money we've never seen in the history of our country, and it hasn't hit yet. But my prediction is when that money gets into the system, you'll have significant and rampant inflation, worse than we had in 1979. And so I say the other message, the other way to win in Kentucky, other than saying I'll bring you more pork, is that I tell you not only will we bring you more freedom, but if I just bring you debt, the debt is going to hurt us through high prices. And who do high prices hurt the worst? The working class and those on fixed income. These are the people we've been losing to the Democrat Party. We get them back not by telling people who are trying to work their way up the socioeconomic ladder that we will give them goodies, we'll give them handouts, we'll give them money for not working. We say no. Small government allows you to get a job, but small government avoids debt, which leads to inflation, which leads to the high prices that are hurting you the most. So we have a message that can appeal. We don't have to give up our message. We can stay with our message, but we have to articulate our message in a way that brings new people to our party. I'd like to close with a quote that I really like from Barry Goldwater's book, Conscience of a Conservative. Barry Goldwater's book was actually, and there's a link, you have to have a link to Kentucky. The link to Kentucky was actually produced by the Simon family over in Shepherdsville. But Barry Goldwater wrote that I have little interest in streamlining or making government more efficient because I mean to reduce its size. You'll have to hold your applause, it's a long quote. I do not undertake to promote welfare, for I plan to extend freedom. My aim is not to pass bills, but to repeal them. My aim is not to initiate new programs, but to cancel out old programs that do violence to the Constitution. My aim is not to first discover whether legislation is needed before I have first determined whether it is constitutional. And if I am later accused of neglecting the interests of my constituents, I will reply that I was informed that their chief interest is liberty, and in that cause I am doing the best that I can.